Anyways, yeah. So, Rob, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good actually. Uh, the my initial plans for the weekend kind of changed, but that's always that's fine. Things change, and so what I ended up doing was kind of spent uh, a couple of nights watching movies through with my girlfriend. We did the movie for that we're going to be reviewing today, Wizard of Oz. So
Mm-hmm.
so I got a lot to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also watched. Well, one thing I like about her is we have a very surprisingly similar taste in movies. She loves like sci-fi movies
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of stuff. But we watched Inception, which I told her, it's like, if you're confused, that's okay. It takes a couple of viewings to kind of get the gist of what's. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden like little things in the movie that you catch as you watch this more and more. You end up like maybe changing your mind about certain things or seeing something new that kind of changes the theory that you have for the film. So she enjoyed that a lot, and then we also watched the original Mission Impossible
Mm.
from '96.
Yeah, I remember watching that as a kid, and I was like, man, this is boring.
I well, see, my first taste into the Mission the Mission
Yeah, I know.
Impossible
Yeah,
films. I
yeah.
think I've
You
said
were.
this before. It's like the
It
absolute
was the
worst
god
time.
awful. Yeah, Mission Impossible 2.
Which
Yeah,
the
a
thing is, I
movie
think that's
so bad. A movie so bad. Anthony Hopkins couldn't make it better.
no, he couldn't.
Yeah, he was in the movie, and he still couldn't make it. He still didn't make it better.
Tom Cruise couldn't make it better. Anthony Hopkins couldn't make it better. I think that was the only one without Ving Rhames too, right?
I think so.
And they never reference that movie ever again in the series.
Right? Yeah, they never mentioned Chimera or anything of that sort.
God, it just so. But that's where I started in the Mission Impossible series, and I had never watched the original one up until like 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's it's definitely very different from what we have now, because there is definitely more of a action element,
Mm-hmm.
where this one is more like a spy thriller type of.
Right, it's very like kind of suspense. It's a mystery. You're figuring the first one. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very much like a mystery. You're in suspense. You're trying to you're figuring things out along with Tom Cruise. Um, but it was just so slow though. It did, it only really ramps up towards the end. I mean, which is I guess fine. And I actually have a new appreciation, because I saw it again, as an adult, and I was like, man, this is a really good movie. I can't believe I crapped on it so much as a kid, but
Yeah,
again, I was a child, and so I didn't really appreciate it. And actually, the first one was a slightly more, uh, I guess, of an homage to the TV show.
yeah. I mean, that's what they were going for
Yeah.
sure. Um, I But I was surprised. I was like, but she loved it. She thought it was like she was on the edge of her seat the entire time. She really liked it. I was kind of surprised. Um, we were trying to watch. I was trying to, because she's never seen any of the Star Wars films, so we were trying to watch the original together, but she
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find a uh, a copy of it. The only thing that she saw, so there was nothing for Star Wars, and then I was like, well, we can watch Indiana Jones, but the only one that she had available was Crystal Skull. Ugh.
Ugh.
I was like, yeah, we're not watching that
Ew.
one. I don't want you to hate the film or to hate
No.
the series.
Yeah, it was such. Yeah, Crystal Skull was just. so bad.
Though
it's like
I
they,
will
you
say,
ended it you ended it perfectly at, after Last Crusade. Like perfectly. His relationship with his father has been mended, and then they ride off into the sunset. Perfect conclusion
I,
to perfect conclusion.
was it the although I did see an interesting debate when it came to Indiana Jones through one of the YouTube channels that I enjoy, the Cinemassacre channel, and
Mm-hmm.
they do movie reviews as well, and they did one which was like, which one's better, Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Last Crusade, which is kind of that's a tough choice. Um, but I thought an even more interesting discussion is, which one's better, Temple of Doom or Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? And after listening to them, they make some interesting points. That's not as easy of a choice as you might think.
I don't know. I think, well, like, one of the missteps of Temple of Doom is that they went backwards in time.
I didn't mind that quite so much. It just, I don't know if it was like the female lead, if it was the script, or just like the story overall. But
Well, yeah, yeah, well, yeah. I say, they're one of their missteps. Like, yeah, it was a misstep to like go kind of do like a past exploit. But then also, yes, the female lead was just atrocious. We all know that Steven Spielberg only cast her because he wanted to get hit that. And yeah, and this the writing was just, not up to par.
I heard that that I forget who plays that character, but I heard it was because it was either, I don't know if it was Spielberg or George Lucas that was going through a divorce, so they found the most annoying person they could find for the role. Is just kind of like, but that also looked like, his like ex-wife.
I mean, yeah, I don't know about that.
Like I said, there's all those like different type of stories. Like, but yeah, but yeah, it could have been both.
Yeah, it could have been a combination of the two theories. Um, but hmm.
But so yeah, well, we ended up not doing that. Not I didn't want to introduce Indiana Jones to her through the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's just
Mm.
that's
You just don't do that. You just
that's
don't
like
do
starting
that.
like at Mission Impossible 2, like I did.
Right. Or starting off Star Wars with the prequels.
Yeah, you can't do that either.
Mm-mm.
You gotta start how like it was, how it originally was. You gotta start out with episode
Right,
4.
yeah. Or like my modified watching order.
I'm actually, I might do that this year. I might do your viewing order, just to see how that works, because that does seem like a very intriguing.
Yeah, I think, yeah, because it's because I think it makes the most sense, because like you watch New Hope, and then you're introduced to Luke, and Han and Leia and Chewie, and then you go into the second one and you have like this revelation. It's like Vader. Spoiler alerts, y'all, for Vader being Luke's father.
Get out of
And it's
here.
like and it's like whoa, like how does that even happen? And then you go and you go into the prequels, and again I always say you can always opt out of Phantom Menace, but Phantom Menace I think has some of the most exciting or the best choreographed saber fights.
Oh,
So
by the
by
way, that movie's 20 years old
by
now.
now, yeah, by this year it's 20 years old. God damn, we're
May of
old.
'99. Jesus.
Yeesh. Um, but yeah, Phantom Menace has one of the has some of the most spectacular choreographed like lightsaber duels
Oh,
in Star Wars.
I would say that that's probably the best lightsaber battle scene in the entire series.
Right. The one where Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi go against Darth Maul. and awesome score too. Duel of the Fates.
Oh,
God, are
Duel
you
of
kidding
Fates.
me?
Oh man, I that's probably one of my favorite songs in Star Wars too.
Mm. Right up there with the kind of like the title track for the theme
Right.
for Star Wars, and then also the Imperial March. Um, and then of course Attack of the Clones sucks, but it's
Instead of watching Attack of the Clones, you watch the Clone Wars, and then you're good to go.
right. But then that's an investment of time, which not a lot of
Uh,
people have. But
sure,
and I
true.
that's that so I understand. But yeah, you could start at two, and I would recommend it because one is not super important, at least to me, or at least to my reckoning. The first one isn't that important to the overall story of Star Wars. Um, but yeah, so yeah, and then the third, and then after the third, you watch the sixth, and then so you kind of get like the whole backstory about Darth Vader and how he used to be Anakin, and then you see like the final then you see in the Return of the Jedi, you see the story come like full circle.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So it was. So it's kind of been fun. Like, because obviously I've seen a lot of these movies. Outside of the ones that we've done for this month for the movie reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen Wizard of Oz, but like, I hadn't seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or Gone with the Wind yet. So I was experiencing them for myself for the first time. But kind of on these like watching these movies, kind of movies I've seen several times, and watching someone experience them for the first time with me, it's kind of fun,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're enjoying them at the same time. So it's kind of it's been a lot of fun.
Cool.
So that was mainly my weekend. Other than that, then I what else did I do? I went to the store, kind of just. I'm actually thinking about doing uh, was it that butcher box thing, where you get like the whole thing of meat or whatever.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Because it looks like it's really good meat, and then I think it'll make kind of like doing like lunch and dinner, like meal prep stuff. So like I just like, all right, I already know what I'm gonna have for dinner, and I can kind of eat a little bit healthier, and then it'll make my girlfriend happy that I'm like I have like, hey, I know what I'm eating for dinner, and I'm eating more healthier and on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was your weekend like?
My weekend. It was chill. Saturday, I wound up spending time with my cousin and her kids. Um,
I saw your Facebook post about that too.
oh yeah. Um, okay. Well, for those of you, because I don't advertise my Facebook page, but yeah, when I went over to I went over to my cousin's place to hang out, and her daughter, my niece, uh, we started to have a conversation, and one of the questions she asked me was like, "Oh, Uncle Andy, why aren't you married?" To which I replied, not that. Oh, hold on, let me set this up again. So we're having this conversation, and she asks, "Are you married?" And I replied, "No." And she continues by saying, like, "Why?" And I said, "I just haven't found anyone I love enough to ask to marry me." She kind of like, "Oh, okay." It's like, "Well, can I be your flower girl?" And and then at the end of my post, I put, I just put like a little, I put a little tagline, and it's like, there's always an angle. Um,
Yep.
yeah, no,
I
but it was really sweet. And then her mom told me like why, she's kind of on this kick about being a flower girl, and it was because when she was sick, and she had the cancer, an opportunity for her to be a flower girl came up, but she wasn't able to because of one of her scheduled treatments, and then which happened across the country in Philadelphia.
Oh,
So
this is your niece that survived like the cancer that she was.
yeah, exactly. And so she missed her opportunity to be a flower girl at this kind of mutual friends wedding, or actually twice. Because she was supposed to be the flower girl at two different weddings, but because of cancer, she was robbed of the opportunity.
I
And so,
see.
yeah, and so I guess she looked at me as like her last chance.
Well, how about this? If I get married before you, which is a possibility, then she can be the flower girl at mine. How about that?
Yeah, I'll have to talk to my client.
Yeah, yeah. I'll hire her. She's hired.
Yes, all negotiations will go through me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very, yeah, it was like, it was a very sweet moment.
But now that I know that, it makes it even funnier. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
she got some
Oh.
spunk. I like that.
Huh?
She has spunk. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.